We're back. Time for another edition of the Carolina Insider. It's the Tar Heel Weekend Recap. It's brought to you by Wells Fargo. I'm Jones. He's Adam. Ton of action to get to. Let's get started. Adam, let's start with men's basketball. Carolina's needed some wins, and the Heels have picked up some wins. 3 in a row. 2 on the road at Notre Dame, then home against Virginia, at Florida State. The most recent was in Tallahassee on Monday night. Carolina gets the 11-point win, led by as many as 18. Florida State cut it down to 4 in the waning moments, but Carolina stretches it back out to get the victory, and Carolina continuing some improved play here over the last week.
And getting some really strong play from Leaky Black, who had 18 points against the Seminoles. Big dunk once FSU had cut it to just 4 points with a couple minutes to play. He also had 9 rebounds. He's been really good on the glass lately, at least 9 rebounds in 6 of his last 9 games. Tar Heels also shooting the ball much better, led by Pete Nance. You know the magical Lemon Oreos are doing their work, as he's been very effective from three-point range. And he's also been pretty good defensively around the rim, altering some shots, blocking some shots. And Tar Heels just overall shooting the ball better during this stretch when they've been winning. And what they've done is they've put themselves in position to have Saturday's game against Duke be a big one.
Carolina had 4 players make 3 three-pointers in the game against Florida State. First time in school history that has happened. The Tar Heels were down below 30% as a team at one point in three-point shooting. And then the last 2 games, they're 24 of 51 as a team, so nearly 50% from behind the arc. It's been a crazy season in that regard for the Heels. Of course, up next, Adam, a big one against Duke. It is 6:30 on Saturday. We'll be on the air radio-wise at 5:30. ESPN Game Day is here as well. That goes from 10 a.m. until noon on Saturday morning. Free admission. Doors are open for the Smith Center at 8:30. We encourage you to come by, of course, have a great time for that, and should be a festive atmosphere and clearly a big weekend for the Heels.
Weather's supposed to be great, should be great all around the Smith Center all day Saturday. The Tip-Off Club right outside the Smith Center.
Yeah.
Biggest tip-off club of the year. I have it on high authority. So come out, make a day of it. Go to game day, go to the Tip-Off Club, go cheer your lungs out at the Smith Center, not starting at 6:30, starting when the doors open at 5 o'clock-ish.
So it is senior day for the guys on Saturday. The women, though, have already completed their regular season. They're heading into ACC tournament play. They enter that event as the number 7 seed in the ACC tournament. Number 18 in the AP poll nationally, though. Carolina finishes the regular season 20-9, 11-7 in conference play. The final action came, Adam, this past Sunday afternoon in Cameron against Duke. It wasn't real pretty offensively, but most importantly for the Heels, they had more points than the Blue Devils when it was all said and done. 45-41, the final score, lowest winning point total for Carolina women's basketball in school history.
That was all the points the Tar Heels needed.
That's right.
And they've now beaten Duke 4 times in a row, which is good because they may see the Blue Devils again this week in Greensboro. No double-figure scores for Carolina in that game over in Durham, but you did have Alyssa Usby, Deja Kelly, Kennedy Todd Williams, all with 9 points apiece. The big number, 15 steals. Carolina's defense has been really good over this last month or so, and it was important in creating some turnovers against Duke.
Speaking of those 3 individuals that Adam just mentioned, just a little bit ago, it was announced, there you go, but we're getting it radioed into us here, that all ACC teams announced for women's basketball earlier today, and the Tar Heels do have those 3 individuals are represented. So it is Deja Kelly, Alyssa Usby on the first team, Kennedy Todd Williams on the second team, all ACC. Congratulations to all 3 of those Tar Heels. Next action is ACC tournament. Carolina's, again, as we said, the 7 seed, so they still don't know their opponent. It will either be the 10-seeded Clemson Tigers or the 15th-seeded Pitt Panthers. That game is Thursday at 6 o'clock in Greensboro. The winner of that meets Duke on Friday. So getting into tournament time for the women. The guys, of course, will be in Greensboro next week. From a couple seasons that are getting close to the end to some seasons that are getting started. That includes Carolina baseball. Boy, had a really competitive 2-game set with East Carolina this past week, and it was supposed to be 3 games. Weather washed out the middle of the 3, so the 2 teams played on Friday in Greenville, on Sunday in Chapel Hill. And Adam, unfortunately, the games kind of followed the same script. The Tar Heels had a sizable lead early, took a multi-run lead into the final innings. but then saw their bullpen falter, and East Carolina was able to get out of there with a 1-run win both times.
Same score in both. Tar Heels lose each one 6-5. Great start from Max Carlson on Friday in Greenville. He looked like a Friday night ACC starter. Goes 7 innings, strikes out 9, doesn't give up a single earned run. And then Connor Bovair did a good job on Sunday back at Boshamer Stadium. He went 5 2/3, struck out 6, only gave up 2 earned runs. So the starters are looking good. The bullpen had some shaky moments, and the bullpen got the headlines, but the Tar Heels also left too many runners on base in that home game on Sunday. Left 12 on base, 6 of them were in scoring position, had a 9th inning rally that was in position and then just didn't make the plays that they needed to make. So with that offense, though, Mac Horvath, he did produce collegiate baseball's player of the week, 7 hits over the weekend, 2 homers, 5 RBIs in 4 games. So Mac Horvath, Vance Honeycutt hit a ball up in the lights at Boshamer Stadium, continuing to do what Vance Honeycutt's done over his first season plus. Got some other areas of the lineup that they need to shore up as they continue on with non-conference play.
Busy week coming up. 2 games against VCU today, Tuesday, and then also tomorrow, Wednesday. Then a weekend set with Stony Brook, not a big name, but a very solid baseball program from the northeastern part of the country. So 5 games upcoming for Carolina this week. All right, let's talk lacrosse. The women, number 1 in the country, 4-0 in total, 1-0 in ACC play after a conference opening victory over Virginia Tech. 10-6 was the final. Tar Heels led that one 10-2, gave up a couple of goals late. That is now 44 straight regular season wins, second most in NCAA history. The record is 46. Maryland did that from 1995 to 1997, so the Tar Heels closing in on that. Jenny Levy closing in on a big milestone. She now has 399 career victories. Number 400 for Coach Levy, number 45 for the Tar Heels in total. Won't be easy. A very good Boston College team coming to Chapel Hill Friday at 4 o'clock. That's a rematch of last year's ACC championship game and NCAA championship game. Of course, the teams are both different. They've each lost some key players, but really 2 really good programs going at it again Friday at 4. That's on ESPNU, by the way, if you can't make it to Dorrance Field to watch in Chapel Hill. Men's lacrosse, 3-1, 1-0 in ACC play as well. They beat Syracuse to get the season, or ACC season started, 19-13 the score there. They're averaging 15 goals per game. Their next action in Chapel Hill hosts Denver, always a good lacrosse program. That is Saturday at 11 a.m. Adam, the lacrosse is winning and the tennis is always used to winning, and they're doing it as well.
The women are doing it at a number 1 ranked pace as they continue to be number 1 in the country. Got 2 wins over the weekend. They won at Virginia 4-1, then went to Virginia Tech, beat the Hokies 4-3. Tar Heels played some depth in that match in Blacksburg and got the win. The men beat Boston College 6-1. That was the ACC opener. Tar Heels winning that one easily. Now, this gets a little confusing. The men and the women each play Louisville and Notre Dame this weekend. But the men are on the road at Louisville and Notre Dame. The women at home against the Cardinals and the Irish. A lot of good home events around Chapel Hill this weekend in addition to that Carolina Duke game. So if you're coming to town, a lot of chances to see some really good Tar Heel teams.
All right, let's finish up here with a couple different sports. Track and field, ACC Indoor Championships. The men finish 5th. The women come in 10th. Tar Heels had 3 individual ACC champions, including Taryn Parks in the mile and Jesse Hunt in the mile, women and men. Also, Ethan Strand set a Carolina meet and facility record in the 3,000 meter. Tar Heels continue to do very well in the distance runs they had in that 3,000 meter. 1st place, 2nd place, 4th place, and 7th place in that race. Gymnastics finished up its dual meet season in the Eagles. 2nd straight year that they have finished undefeated to take home the regular season title. They have senior day against Air Force coming up on Friday. Fencing, ACC championships, the men finish 2nd, the women come in 3rd. And wrestling ACC championships are this weekend. They are being hosted in Raleigh by NC State. The guys will be competing over there. So a ton going on, a lot of success for the Tar Heels in total. We'll see you this weekend, hopefully, for one of these great events in Chapel Hill. Thanks for joining us here on the Carolina Insider.